Welcome to the Marketplace of Ideas. All right, we have with us here today the man, the myth, the legend, General Balzsack. What was his claim?
That we should, no matter what, Trump should not be impeached because, well, I'm putting no matter what in there because it puts us on the path to civil war.
General Balzsack, thank you so much for joining us on the Marketplace of Ideas.
So why don't you tell us first, what are your political inclinations? Where do you identify as a certain ideology or political group?
I would consider myself a Reagan Republican.
A Reagan Republican, all right.
Well,
okay. What do you think the likelihood? Well, I don't want to take over if you guys don't want me to take over, but
no, go ahead.
You were saying that we should not be hoping for impeachment through the midterms because that would put us onto the path of civil war. If Donald Trump, for instance, if he sued the IRS for $10 billion and he's the chief executive of the United States, and so he awards himself $10 billion from his own lawsuit, effectively tripling his net worth at taxpayer expense, and or he's been doing all these like crypto coins in order to take foreign investment and then giving political favor to foreign entities to a degree that makes the Bidens laughable by comparison. And then on top of that, he's alleged to have participated in like child sex trafficking 30 years ago. Why shouldn't this man be impeached?
The child sex trafficking has not been established. If it is, then yeah, I'm fine with him going to.
So there is a line for you at some point, you know?
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's always a line.
You just don't think that we've crossed this line at that point.
What about the thing that I'm talking about, though? And I'm not going to grill you on it too hard, but as an example...
Go ahead.
Grill him.
Okay, well, I was going to say, so Jared Kushner, as an example, he was working as a consultant with the State Department during Trump 1. He helped broker the Abraham Accords, which I actually applaud him for, which is effectively Israel normalizing relations with Saudi Arabia and other Gulf states. But then what ended up happening immediately after he left office was the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia voted to give him a $200 billion management fund from their sovereign wealth fund. And this alone is going to make Jared Kushner a billionaire separate from his father-in-law and separate from his wife. So if I'm supposed to be ass mad about Hunter, which I am, by the way, because I try to be principled, but if I'm supposed to be ass mad about Hunter, doing some tax evasion and taking $10 million over the course of 10 years, why wouldn't I be mad about Jared Kushner?
It's not an issue at all.
It's not an issue.
I don't know why you're bringing it up.
Well, wait, Hunter Biden's not an issue, or Jared Kushner is not an issue?
Yeah, no. Hunter Biden isn't an issue either.
Why not?
We've already gone past that. It's already passed. Do you think that everybody cares about Hunter Biden?
Well, Merrick Garland and the Department of Justice was ready to hit him with like half a dozen felonies and 3 or 4 misdemeanors until his father pardoned him on his way out of office. So yeah, people were pissed about that for sure.
There was 2 years of investigations, and it's one of maybe the biggest issues that changed the outcome of the 2024 elections. You can say we're past it, but that's because we're...
Well, hold on. Was it the...
both.
God, was it 24 elections?
I'll say both, 2020 and 2024. 2020 was when the laptop was released, but it stayed an issue the entire time.
Yep. And it was arguable that in 16 just real quick, in 16 it was arguable that the FBI announcing like 2 weeks or a month before the election that they were reopening a criminal investigation into Hillary Clinton over her handling of secured materials. Like Clinton and some other Democrats cited that as part of the reason why they lost the election.
Yeah, so these kinds of investigations absolutely...
She didn't lose the election because she was a dumbass with her computer.
You could give a million reasons why.
So as well, but doesn't it all count?
But this affected it, yes. These types of investigations absolutely can change public opinion on these elections, right?
True.
You think
so why doesn't it matter?
Because we're past it. That was 10 years ago, man.
Well, yeah, but if I murdered someone 10 years ago and like the feds come back to me and they're like, hey, you murdered someone. And I go, hey, it's 10 years ago, man. Nobody, everybody's moved on. Nobody cares anymore.
So should
Well,
we
and but
prosecute
that's not
everybody?
we're not talking about the things that happened 10 years ago. We're talking about the things that are happening today and whether or not those should affect the
Exactly.
next election. Yeah, but you're saying that they shouldn't matter, that we shouldn't worry about
Okay,
it.
well, hold on. So if Trump, so let's say Jared Kushner is in the past, that's water under the bridge. You know, that was Trump 1, not Trump 2. Okay, well, with Trump 2, he's done
The
crypto,
Bitcoin scams,
which
yeah.
means that he created a fake money that then you can invest in.
Anonymously.
And if you invest millions or tens of millions of dollars into this fake money, then you get political considerations and access to the Trump administration, which in my opinion is just bribery and corruption.
Naked
by another
bribery.
name. And this is to the tunes of tens of millions or billions of dollars. So this is happening now. Why don't we care about that?
We do.
I mean, if we do, then why wouldn't we impeach?
There needs to be a specific reason why there is an impeachment going on. We can't do it like you can't do it the same way that Clinton got impeached. Yeah, I mean, yeah, he deserved his impeachment.
Sure.
Right, but why wouldn't I just say, hey, the UAE gave us a $400 million jet that Trump plans on outfitting, replacing Air Force One, but then donating it to the Trump library as a part of its inventory. So he basically got like a $500 million gift from the UAE. And then the UAE got upgraded equipment and training with like the American military immediately after gifting Trump, a $500 million plane. Why wouldn't I just say, hey, this is like naked bribery, extortion, and corruption? Well, not extortion, but naked corruption and bribery.
Is someone giving money to you a bad thing?
If it's for bribery and I'm a public officer,
oh yeah, no, I'm familiar. I'm familiar with the XYZ affair. So yes, I agree.
Well, hold on. So I'm a cop, and you're like a known drug dealer. And then you give me $10,000 for no reason, and I promise it doesn't affect my judgment of how I treat you. Do you think that giving me money is a bad thing in that case?
That's a very different situation, and you know it.
How? The president is infinitely more powerful than any street cop.
Because there's no law on the international stage.
I mean, I could take a look at it right now. I think as a matter of fact, I'll take
yeah,
a look at
there is fake laws.
Fake laws, international laws, or fake laws?
Well, hold on. Even domestic laws, though, like bribery is probably a domestic law.
Oh yeah, that's internal to a country.
Well, there's also the fact that impeachment itself does not require a specific law to be broken. It's the term high crimes and misdemeanors really just means offenses that we find rise to the need to take this person out of office. Like
certainly.
Yeah, so I mean, technically,
and not just that. I just checked out this is part of the Constitution. Article 2, Section 4 says, civil officers of the United States shall be removed from office on impeachment for or conviction of treason, bribery, and other high crimes and misdemeanors. So if I look up the statute for bribery and it says like an inappropriate quid pro quo, like gifts for political consideration and favor, and that's the statute, then how can we not just go through the myriad favors that the Trump administration is doing for various people for money and just say this is bribery?
There is a reason why Clinton didn't get fully impeached. He had
well, he was impeached, but he wasn't removed from office because he lied about.
I know what the impeachment process is.
It's clumsy to talk about it, even if you know what you're talking about. But yeah, go ahead and continue.
Oh, I'm done.
Okay.
Well, hold on. So is your defense that it's not illegal, even though, I mean, we could probably find the statute, and based off of the statute, Trump is guilty of it in a half dozen occasions?
Is he guilty on a federal level?
I mean, I think that Congress, if they actually flipped Democrat, and then if Republicans remembered to have a conscience, then yeah, they could probably easily say that this is bribery, and they could impeach him and remove him from office. Absolutely.
So your argument is that they're going to just, if Congress, the House specifically.
Well, okay. So this is
yeah. You know where I'm going.
no. I think I do know where you're going, which is effectively that a win in the Senate is statistically unlikely. However, I would also say winning a Trump plus 17 district is also statistically unlikely, and that just happened within the past week.
Off election years usually end up going to the other side.
I agree with you that it's unlikely, but I think we're talking about two different mechanics. You're talking about what you think is likely to happen versus I'm saying should. And so
should
what
and
I'm
could.
saying is, instead of Democrats, and this is actually my entire prescription, I don't think Democrats should spend the summer rioting over random citizens getting shot in the face by ICE officers. I think that'll be counterproductive. I don't think
agree with that. 100%.
Yeah, I don't think they should shoot ICE officers because that's going to be counterproductive and it's illegal. Now, if they take their anger and momentum and they channel it into the midterms, then they probably will win the House. They could win the Senate. And at minimum, they'll make Donald Trump a lame duck, which I think is good because I think Donald Trump's one of the biggest pieces of shit in American politics. But then at maximum, they could impeach him. So that's kind of my position.
Well, you hate Donnie more than I do, which I'm not a big fan, by the way, just so you know.
Well, okay, let's try and find out, like, where are these intuitions really coming from in you? Are you just worried that the attempt to prosecute Trump will alienate more voters than it creates? Is that what you're really worried about here? Because I feel like there's a lot of people that are the punishment of Trump, the charging of Trump for his crimes during office last time regarding January 6th, etc. They puttered around. They didn't get it done quick enough. That it wasn't done well publicly. And I think it did leave like a lot of taste in people's mouth as if he did nothing wrong because these prosecutions didn't go through. Is that maybe where your intuition here is coming from? That this an attempt to impeach again would just become a bogged down political process that just draws a line that's already drawn? Something like that?
The line has already been drawn. Everybody knows it.
And so, you think this is just a spectacle that'll get in the way, or what?
Wait. Just so I can state. I grew up in Minnesota. I mean, I'm not in Minnesota anymore. I know Minneapolis, Minnesota, same thing. But here's the thing that I get very concerned about is that and I don't like using these terms, but I'm going to use them because it's easy. The left keeps on saying, hey, yeah, let's impeach him. Let's impeach him. Let's kick him out of office. Send him up to the wall. Well, you know what? The left is doing that damn same thing right now.
What same thing?
They're blowing whistles. They're creating distractions and creating bad shots. And Connor can agree with me on this. If you have a lot of bad communication, one person to another, especially when a gun is around, you got to shoot him. You got to shoot the guy down. You don't know what the hell is going on because there's so many whistles. There's so much miscommunication going on that it creates bad decisions. Go ahead, Connor.
Well, General Balzsack, I was going to say this is where I've been beefing with the liberals on is I think it's going to be ruled legally justified. But once again, I do still think it's immoral. And what I mean by that is
I agree. You've seen me.
Hold on. Because the shooting to me is not the immoral component. Okay. Because if you pose an imminent threat of death or great bodily harm to another person and you get shot down or whatever, I just think that's the law. And I think that's a moral law. However, what I do think is immoral is that, the blowing of whistles and the yelling and the protesting and the videotaping, that's all, we looked up case law. That's all protected by the First Amendment of the United States. What's not protected is standing in the middle of the road.
I agree.
But what I was going to say, though, is that plenty of people, when I was a law enforcement officer, and I know law enforcement officers get Monday morning quarterbacked all the time, but plenty of people talk shit to me. Plenty of people talk shit to me. Plenty of people said I was a bad person. Plenty of people said they were going to, do bad shit to me, or I would die.
I've seen those. I've seen those.
Well, right.
I've seen those interviews.
So that's the thing, though, is, I said, have a nice day. What I meant, and I communicated it with my tone, is fuck you. But I said, have a nice day. And then I got in my car and I dipped out. Whereas what this officer did, who instigated the incident, was he had two ladies who, let's face it, they're 40 to 60-year-old Karens. They're standing in the roadway, but they're not really in front of the car. He gets pissed off because they're talking shit. And he's like, you don't think I'm a fucking cop? I'll fucking show you wrong. And then he starts pushing them out the roadway and he's pepper spraying them. And I'll even make the argument that serves, quote unquote, a law enforcement purpose. You're dispersing these people out of the roadway. But at the same time, if you asked me, what's the percentage of that guy being mad versus the law enforcement purpose served, I would say 90% of that interaction is him being mad. That's what it is. And cops don't have to be better than that, but they should be better than that.
No, I definitely agree with that.
Okay. All right. Well, then I think I understand your position, and
thank you for the call, partner.
General Balzsack, nice to speak to you in person.
Oh, am I you're kicking me out?
Well, not necessarily. If they got questions for you, they can go for it. We just might have other callers.
No worries. I gotta work tomorrow.
We had somebody else in the waiting room, so I did want to give them an opportunity. It looks like they're gone now, but General Balzsack, do you want to give us any final thoughts about your position here, or any other parting words?
God, country, and family.
God bless America.
Well said,
Thank
sir.
you. You know what?
Thank you so much.
Thank you for being our first caller. We're gonna award you, let's say, 200 Grift coin for being a great, good faith first caller. Thank you, neighbor.
Give me some Trump coin.
No, thank you. We are not supporting.
I was going to say, it costs too much money.
Yeah, that costs real money. Grift coin, we can just print that shit like it's the American dollar, baby. Okay, we're good.
Oh, well, I've been in mortgage.
We're doing some MMT with this Grift coin, baby. Okay, this doesn't have to be real. All right, thank you, brother. Thank you so much for calling.
I'll let you go.
I appreciate you. Thank you.